Hey guys, it's Pastor Nate here, and I'm talking about Passion Week, and it's Thursday of Passion Week, otherwise known as Monday Thursday. Now, if I'm honest, I gotta admit, first time I heard the term Monday Thursday years ago, early on in ministry, I thought I misheard the person, and they were saying Monday Thursday, and of course I'm like, what the heck is Monday Thursday? I've never heard of Monday Thursday. And then they're like, well, it's in the Bible. I'm like, Monday Thursday. Read the Bible. I don't ever remember coming across Monday, Thursday anywhere, much less in the Gospels, which is what this was all about because it's Passion Week. And then it was at that point in time I learned, no, it's Monday, Thursday, like Munday or DY. And so I was completely in that moment, went from having zero knowledge about this to beginning to formulate some knowledge and understanding about this. So as we get into what Maundy Thursday is and the importance of it, a little backstory on why someone's feet would need to be washed. We typically don't come home and go straight to washing our feet or have someone wash our feet or wash each other's feet when we come home. We either keep our shoes on or maybe just remove your shoes but keep your socks on, depending on house rules and all that. But it was very important in the first century. After walking in sandals, open-toe sandals along the dusty, filthy streets or roads of Israel, that one wash their feet or have their feet washed upon entering their home. It's even more critical considering how they dined and how that was very different than what we're used to here in the 21st century. We're used to sitting at chairs, around a table, or at the very least sitting on couches in a family room. But when in the first century, when they gathered to eat, they would gather around a very low table and usually in a reclining position, much closer to laying on one side than sitting up in a sitting up position like I'm doing here at the moment. And what this did was bring everyone's feet much closer into the equation than we're used to. And it's safe to say there's no quicker way to lose one's appetite than to catch a whiff of someone's unwashed feet. During dinner or right before dinner, you're like, no thanks, oof, that's rough. So there's the backstory. Now we get into what's known as the Last Supper. We know that it's after the fact. The disciples in the moment probably no clue that this was the Last Supper or this would have be such a significant meal. They may have treated it like most other meals, but what happened during that meal definitely left an impression on them. And so John, years later, writing and recounting this, he says and writes, during supper, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands and that he had come from God and was going to God, got up from the table, took off his outer robe, and tied a towel around himself. So I can imagine the disciples are like, oh man, this grub is good. This food is awesome. They're eating it. And they're like, wait, what's Jesus doing? Like, we're not even halfway done yet. Or maybe we just finished like the halfway point. Main course though, still going on maybe. And he's getting up. What's he doing? He took off his outer robe and he put a towel. What's going on? And so there's some questions. So maybe some puzzlement happening here in the moment. And so to kind of display and model what happened next, I've got Drew and I've got Kaylee's help to show you a little bit about what happened there next in this Last Supper. So John goes on to say that Jesus poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel that was tied around him. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, Simon Peter, who's quick to have words and to be very emotional, Simon Peter said, Lord, are you going to wash my feet? Like, you? You are my master. You are my rabbi. You should not be washing my feet. And Jesus answered, you do not know what I'm doing, but later you will understand. Peter said to him, you'll never wash my feet. Not in a negative way, but more in like, I honor and revere you so much. For you to be doing this is beneath yourself. And Jesus then answered, unless I wash you, you have no share with me. Simon Peter said to him, Lord, not only my feet then, but also my hands and my head. Just give me a bath, give me a shower, just cleanse every part of my body. And Jesus said to him, one who is bathed does not need to wash, except for the feet, but is entirely clean. And You are clean, though not all of you. For he knew who was to betray him, Judas. For this reason he said, not all of you are clean. After he had washed their feet, had put on his robe, and had returned to the table, he said to them, do you know what I have done to you? They literally, physically know what he did to them. And he goes on to explain a little bit more. You call me teacher and Lord, for you're right, or Rabbi, and Adonai, for you're right, for that is what I am. So if I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I've set you an example, for you an example, that you should do as I have done to you. Very truly I tell you, servants are not greater than their master, nor are messengers greater than the one who sent them. If you know these things, you are blessed if you do them. And so I think what's shocking about this moment is that the disciples think they're in a pretty good position for this new kingdom that is set to take over this Roman Empire. This world domination that is the Roman Empire. And they're looking and anticipating getting out under the physical reign and rule of the Roman Empire. And they're thinking that Jesus, the Messiah, is there to do that. And Jesus is there not to be a physical Messiah as much as he is to be their spiritual Messiah. And they're slowly getting this point. But everything they've seen and everything they've experienced from a king, from a kingdom, means that it's top down. That everyone below the top serves the top. And Jesus is now modeling that the kingdom of heaven is upside down, where if you want to be the greatest, be the least. So this is Maundy Thursday. Not Monday, Thursday, but Maundy Thursday. And Monday is derived from the Latin word for command, and it's a reminder that the command that Jesus is giving is one to love one another and to serve one another. And in doing so, we display Jesus, the Jesus that we love and follow, and we exemplify this to not only those that are other Jesus followers, but to the world around us.